You said it, John, that there's 10 to 12 teams that could win the national championship. I look across the country. UCLA is a team I feel so strongly about, even with Jalen Clark. Hopefully he's good to go. And obviously that's a tough thing with them to deal with. But by the same token, Jaime Jaquez is the epitome of a winner. Tiger Campbell steers the ship for them. Nick Cronin, his teams just play nasty. They play nasty defensively. They're the team that I'm bullish on here of those top teams that I think I buy the most in to win the national title. Our own Jeff Goodman had them in the preseason. I'll give him his flowers. John, who's the team or two that you've seen at the top of the country, if you had to make a pick, that you just really like here out of the gates, 1 week away from everybody filling out a bracket?
I think I'm going to concur with that UCLA take. We talked about earlier how, we needed to have kind of a team that was a kind of a team that don't sleep on. Them kind of getting rattled up by Arizona State early in the first half and then coming out and beating them down and then beating Arizona at home pretty good. Kind of let you know, man, this team is no one to play with. I mean, they've went through that gauntlet and they're playing well. So UCLA is a team, I guess, if you're not paying attention, you should probably pay attention to them now. I actually watched Houston. I love Houston. I watched them the day play. They look so good, so relaxed. Memphis gave them all they could give them, and they hung tight. They hit some big shots. Sasser's so smooth. So, Houston and UCLA are my two teams that I'm kind of eyeing. Like, hey, these are the teams to be watching. Kind of, come next week.
Man, as much as it hates me to say it, Kansas has a real chance back to back. Them boys are serious.
They are.
I don't know what it is about it. Maybe it's just because they're too passionate. Maybe I don't like Kansas because the Jayhawks because they're just a little too passionate for me. I never played at Allen Fieldhouse. I know that's a tough place to win, et cetera, et cetera. But, I mean, when you talk about Bill Self getting his guys ready, at one point, the talk was, oh, man, they're not going to win the Big 12. They went on a rampage after what they lost 3 straight. No,
yes.
3 straight, and just literally flipped the script. I thought when they went into Kentucky and beat Kentucky, where they could have lost that 4th game, I'm like, man, these boys are the real deal. And I'm looking at Jalen Williams Wilson to definitely be a finalist and Player of the Year. He's been a stud. I guess my second team, man, UCLA, yeah, for sure. I like Alabama. I do. I think because I'm obviously an SEC guy. I just don't know if their style of play. When they get cold, it's scary, man. Like they were 1 for 16 in the first half. They just, if they can't knock shots down, I just don't know if they have enough rebounding defense to come away with a tough matchup. But Brandon Miller's sensational. I think I trust UCLA more than Alabama right now.
I don't trust Alabama.
Right.
Because they're too in love with the 3-point shot. Because you can't tell me that there's still not some level of distraction for that team. At the end of the day, they won 3 games by 5 points or less. They shot 7 for 36 from 3 against Texas A&M. 7 for 36. They could die by the 3. They could very well end up dying by the 3 somewhat early in the NCAA tournament if they're not careful, Henson.
And you Alabama, I mean, if you look at their last, 4 to 5 games, you can't just come back every half. It just doesn't work like that. Texas A&M, they tried to do the same thing against them and they lost. They got caught up with them. So Alabama's going to be an interesting case study because they're probably one of the top. They're going to be a number 1 seed line, right? They're probably going to perform well in the tournament. So I wonder if there's it doesn't seem like it's distracted them from a basketball standpoint, what's going on with the Miller situation. However, you never know with the tournament coming up and these questions are going to be asked and what kind of, that media kind of circus that's going to be out there.
You guys both know it. You get to the NCAA tournament, there's the mandatory 20-minute press conference. What kind of questions did you get asked at those?
Anything, everything. I mean, like this, and you know what? I'm going to assume because Brandon Miller is a freshman, Nate Oates, because the coach picks like I guess 3 or 4 guys, right, Pat, to like kind of like upperclassmen and stuff.
Yeah.
I would assume that they're going to hold him off the podium. I'm just going to maybe throw it out there,
We're gonna try. Sure,
we're going to try. We'll see.
But the locker room's open.
You're
These
right.
people will come find him.
Yeah,
those
you're
guys,
right.
those media members will go and find him.
Hope they're training. Hope they're training to hey, look, we're focused on the game that's over with. And we're here. We're excited to play. Hopefully, that's what the answer comes out of their mouths, and they play well.
You think about the country here, and you talk about Kansas. 15 quad 1 wins, not a single loss outside the top quadrant. Nobody else in college basketball has more than 11. And you talked about Jalen Wilson. How about the fact that Kansas is 19-0 when DeJuan Harris scores at least 6 points?
Dang, that's it.
All he has to do is get to 6, and they're 19-0 when he's active, because Wilson's going to get his. And if Grady Dick's hitting shots, good night, because it just seems like he's the perfect Bill Self player. It's almost as if we're not talking enough about Kansas because there's a staleness, because they won the national championship last year, so people know that they're great. But they have as much of a shot to win this thing as anybody. They do. They're balanced. They figured out how to play offense, not having a true 5-man. That goes back to KJ Adams and what he has meant. They have a coach who's as good as anybody in the game. The Jayhawks can become college basketball's first team to repeat as national champion since Florida in 2006 and 2007 under Billy Donovan. And if Bill Self repeats, I think it's safe to say that he goes in the column of being college basketball's one of their 4 or 5 best coaches in the history of the sport.
You got to throw them up there if they repeat. I like Kansas too, because in a year of so many ups and downs and so much inconsistency, they're solid. Like you're going to have to beat Kansas. You're going to have to beat them. They're not going to beat themselves. It's going to be a ball game. And hey, may the best man win when you play them, right? Like, it's not going to be a letdown, right? So that's something to say in this college basketball season, because I got a funny feeling, man, that first weekend is going to be, I want to say there's probably going to be a 15-2 upset. The way this college stuff is going, there's going to be some crazy little upsets. So Kansas being solid like that, I think bodes well for them in the tournament, because I don't know what to think. We didn't even start talking about the Big Ten. it's from 2 to 8 is half a game, 1 game. It's nuts.
No, John, off of that, or Fanta, off that one stat you just said on DeJuan Harris, because we know his playmaking ability. It's like not much is being asked of you, and as the point guard having the ball in your hand majority of the time, you can really pick and choose your spots of getting something quick, getting something more open. And that alone, that's so scary. 19-0 when he scores 6 at least. I thought you were going to say 10. You said 6 points. That's. You can go get fouled. Just get to the line.
Just run ISO for right at the beginning of the game. Look, once if you score over 6, we win this game. So go ahead, do your thing.
Right. Oh man, I really like KJ Adams. The way that he plays so friggin' hard. I think he's the problem on the offensive end in the pick and roll with his athletic ability, his length. Having the senior Kevin McCullough was one of the best pickups transfers in the country. We know he's not going to do a whole lot offensively, but having that, he's the glue guy. Does it on both sides. Great defender, rebounds. That he pushes them to the edge of being that team that is, as you said it, one of the potentially the next team to go back to back since Billy Donovan in 06 and 07.
Hey guys, just a reminder, our sponsor for today's episode is Run Your Pool. They are hosting the Field of 68 Bracket Challenge. This year, they are giving away $1,500 in free prizes. It's all an incentive for you to get on there and find out just how good their platform is. I've been using them for my bracket pools for years. I've used them for Super Bowl squares. I use them for everything that I need to use them for. The biggest survivor pool that I'm in for both NFL and NCAA tournament is by Run Your Pool. So go check them out. The link's below. Tap in.